evening, everyone. I'm Sandy Anastasia, and I want to welcome you to the Psychic Hour for October of 2016. It's my pleasure to be here with you this evening. I always enjoy these psychic hours, and I just can't wait to hear what amazing discussions we get into this evening, because we always do. You have such fabulous questions for me every time we meet. So welcome, everyone. It's good to see you here. I have a couple of announcements to make just as we get started here at the top of the hour. First, I want you all to make a note that the next psychic hour that you should be putting on your calendar so you don't miss it is on November 8th. November 8th, the next psychic hour. It's 9 o'clock, as always, November 8th. Now, I also have this absolutely wonderful webinar that's coming up a week from Thursday. That's on October 27th. And I really hope I'm going to see all of you there. This is an important webinar. I know Lisa put an announcement on my Facebook page, so a lot of you have already seen that. And that webinar is all about the dark side. It's called Dark Forces. It's on October 27th. It'll be at 8 p.m. and it's only $25. So my webinars are very, very inexpensive. When you go to one of those webinars, you learn, you grow, and you get a recording of the webinar. So it's a pretty awesome experience. I'm hoping I'm going to see most of you there. I'm going to be really blowing the lid off what's going on with the interaction of darkness and light in our world today. So that's a webinar not to be missed. Please do attend if you have any real interest in being a true light bearer. I also have a webinar coming up I'm going to announce now because it's actually before the next psychic hour, even though it's my November webinar. And that webinar is how to heal yourself and how to send energy in a group healing. And people who go to that webinar are going to be invited to a very special Facebook page that I'm going to be setting up. That's a healing page online for people to involve themselves with. And of course, you're going to learn about what psychic healing is, how to do distance healing, and also learn that when you send healing and goodwill to someone else, you reap the benefits yourself. So those are two webinars. Again, both of them are $25. The first on October 27th is Dark Forces. The second, November 3rd, is a group meditation learning to do psychic healing and group healing specifically. Now, one other thing I need to announce, and Lisa's jumping up and down because she's so excited about these. My guides and I, some time back, created an amazing oil. It's called a moon oil, and many, many people have told me that they've been able to astral travel with the benefit of that oil and have all kinds of other wonderful results in their psychic work. Okay, so they've been having a lot of interesting things. I'm getting a correction, by the way. Lisa's telling me here that the webinar for healing yourself is on November 3rd. Pardon me, not on November 3rd, it's on November 6th. So I stand corrected. Lisa, thanks for letting me know. November 6th, not November 3rd. So correct your calendars on that one, folks. We had to change that date because I am traveling at that time. So it will be November 6th. Now, back to what I was just saying about my moon oil. My guides and I created that moon oil, and it is unbelievably effective. I believe personally that out of all the oils that I have created with the help of my guides, that the moon oil is the most powerful. Now, Lisa, all day long, under this wonderful harvest supermoon, has been blending this moon oil. And she's already sent a bunch of it out, and there are some bottles left. It's only $14.95 plus your shipping. So if you're interested in getting that moon oil, make sure that you email Lisa or let her know right here in the chat room. Her email is lisasainc@aol.com. So you'll be able to email her directly and order a bottle if you want to do that now. Freshly brewed and really potent and powerful because it's been done under this harvest full moon, and it's moon oil. It's great stuff. What I do is I just anoint my third eye with it before I go to sleep, and wow, tremendous astral experiences, but also really good for helping you with any psychic work that you're doing. Now, one last announcement, and then I promise you I will be getting started with you, and that is that this year coming, 2017, marks my last time that I will be teaching my entire Anastasia system of psychic development from start to finish, from level 1 all the way through level 6 in person in Tampa, Florida. Now, if you want to get in on that, I'm going to encourage you to work hard to get a spot now, as soon as possible. And folks, you're the first to know about this other than my intimate associates and my teachers of my system, because I really haven't announced this too many places. I think I mentioned it on the last Psychic Hour kind of casually. There's nothing casual about this. The room I work with holds about 30 people. This whole group of seminars is going to sell out. These are 4-day immersion seminars that teach you everything you want to know in the psychic field. They take you from the beginner level where you're learning to use things like skills like telepathy and empathy, and they take you all the way to where you're channeling and you're giving future-oriented readings and you're actually able to communicate with the other side and become the medium if that's what you so choose. So anyone who is wanting to do those studies in person with me, please get a deposit in at least. Mark your spot or the spot won't be there. My newsletter will have an editorial about this in it, and once that newsletter comes out, those spots are going to start filling up. And my Black Friday sale will probably fill the rest of the seminars up. So get in on it if it's something you want to do. If you've been sitting on the fence about, gee, this is a lot of time, effort, and money, and I don't really know if I want to do it, well, you have to make a decision up soon, because after this year, I may do some in-person events, but I will never do the entire series from 1 through level 6, again, in person. This is it. So this is the time to really get in on that if that's something that you really wanted to. And yes, it's an expense, but I think anybody on here who's, and I see a few names I recognize, who's actually taken the series with me would say that it was life-changing and that in every way they were glad that they put their time, their effort, and their money into it. So I am hoping that I see you there. Now, without any further ado, here we go. We're jumping into this evening. Folks, here's how it works. When you come on, we're going to answer your questions. This is your evening. And I'm going to hit as many of those questions as I can through the night. It's interesting. Nights usually have themes. We'll see what this theme is. It's always interesting. It's always fascinating. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Lisa will try to answer those questions in order. She generally tries to pick people that have not had a chance to talk in previous sessions. And if you're shy and you don't want to raise your hand and actually verbally ask me a question, well, then you can type your question into the chat room down where it says questions, and Lisa will, especially if she sees a lot of people asking similar questions, she'll offer me that question. And Lisa's our moderator on this call, so she's kind of in charge with who gets to ask and who gets to be recognized in the chat room. She also is a psychic and a psychic medium herself, and many times she can answer your question in the chat room as well. So I really work her to death in these sessions. And incidentally, just as I give you my time in these sessions for free, so does Lisa. A lot of you don't realize that. She's volunteering to help me these evenings. So thank you, Lisa. And I did receive a couple of questions from people prior to the session. I passed them along to Lisa, but there's no guarantee those will be answered. I do not answer questions before the psychic hour. If you have a question that doesn't get answered and you're burning for that answer, please send it to me within 48 hours after we end the session. So you have 2 days to get me that question. And I will do my best, and Lisa will do her best to get those questions answered within the next couple of weeks before the next psychic hour. Those questions that I received before tonight, if they don't get answered tonight, you need to re-ask them because they are not filed. I have no idea what they were. They're gone. Okay? So let's get, and Lisa, who's our first victim of the evening? I think under a full moon, that's appropriate.
Oh, you stole
full
my
moon's
line.
old. I know, I picked it right out of your head.
I do want to clear up one little thing because I think maybe there might have been a little confusion on between the November 3rd and the 6th. I think all of our mind is on November 8th, the election, which is why you said the psychic hour was on the 8th. So Sandy does have her healing webinar on November 3rd, and then she has her psychic hour on November 6th. And I've also typed it into the chat room. Just go to Sandy's page and look on her events page, and you're going to see everything that she offers. The webinars, the in-person classes, everything.
Wait. The events page hasn't been updated because that's where I copied this erroneous information from. So folks, please write it down because the event, apparently we changed the psychic hour from the 8th because of the election.
No, Sandy, the 8th is on a Tuesday.
Right, it's the election. It's the election. So the point is that right now my website is incorrect, Lisa. So let's make these announcements again. The psychic hour in November is on November 6th. Correct, Lisa?
Yes, it's always on a Sunday.
Right, it's November 6th. And the webinar Dark Forces is on October 27th. The healing webinar is on November 3rd, okay? And I think that catches us all up to date, and you should be correct. Thank you, Lisa, for the correction in the record keeping. What would I do without you? Okay, Lisa, who's our first victim here?
All righty, first victim tonight, I love this, is going to be Debbie. Debbie, you are unmuted. Good luck.
And just, hi, Debbie. Let me review for everybody the way we start this. We have your name. I'd like to know where you're from. I would like to know what you're most grateful for this evening. And I'd like to know your sun sign and then your question.
Hi, I'm Debbie from the California Sierra Nevada mountains. I'm a Gemini, and I am most grateful for having a village in the small town we're in. We just got my oldest out of jail, an addict, and we are trying our best.
I want to stop you there for a minute. I work with cards and channeling as I do the readings, and I'm already doing this as you're talking. Before you said we just got your oldest out of jail, this is the card I picked. And I know you see that? This is actually the Justice card. And I picked it upside down, which means it's done. Isn't that lovely? I love it. I love my guides. Thank you, guys. Keep going.
I love that because all the cards, what I'm struggling with right now is I am having a few health issues. I was trying to finish up a book that my son wants published about his terrible life going up through and how we adopted him. And so all the cards keep telling me everything's going to come into play and to have patience and that I am following my intuition and going in the right direction. But I'm confused because I have 3 different directions. Are they for all of the directions or?
Okay. First off, And that's a whole mixture of questions there, but you're a Gemini, so of course you've got multiple directions, okay? Um, First, I want to locate you on our chart, okay? Gemini is on this chart. I'm going to use my cursor here if I can make it move, right over here on the ascendant. Do you see that? On the left side,
Yeah.
I'm moving the cursor, okay? That means that this really is all about you. So even though, you just got your son out of jail, that's wonderful, by the way, congratulations. That is a lot to be grateful for. And you are, you're focusing on writing the book to help him, to help other people, doing this for him. But it's not really about him. All of this is really for you and about you, because this Gemini is right here on the first house. That first house in astrology is always about you. And so everything that's going on in your life right now, even though it feels like you're applying yourself in all these different three directions, they're all about your growth and your evolution. And guess what? You're changing who you are, what you want out of life. And I'm going to ask you to please allow yourself to move forward by the feeling that says, this is what I need to accomplish first. This is what I need to do, which means you may need to tune a deaf ear to your son at times. You may need to put the book aside and then bring it back. You may need to spend extra time, extra hours on yourself and on your health and on your own persona, because guess what? Right now, this time is supposed to be about you and about your growth and about your evolving. Am I making sense? And
You're making sense.
right, and why do you have all these things on your plate at the same time? Because you are a benevolent soul, you're a generous person, because your interests are so committed, and they take you in these different directions, and then you get committed to them, and you feel like you've got to complete everything. Well, something interesting is going on here. My guides, I hate when they do this, but I also enjoy when they do this. They're using me as an example, and I hate that because I know you do some psychic work yourself, and you understand that when you're the example, it's really hard to get yourself out of the way and listen. Okay? So when they do that, it's like, hey guys, I'm human too. It kind of is very frustrating. But here's the example. For a long, long time, I put off the publication of my Psychic Development Level 6 book. And I put it off because I had said back in the 90s that when this is done, that is my life work, I can die. Did you just get shivers? Do you see what I did? I linked my death to the book, okay? Well, that's a lot of kaflooey, okay? I have no intentions of dying, and the book is already published for my students, and it's coming out in Kindle form in about a month. The thing is, you've done the same thing, okay? Your life work, helping your son and straightening his life out and getting him through this hardship of jail and pulling him out of jail, and then you write the book, and then you can die, which is why you get the health problems. And those health problems go to your blood.
The book is about a different child, and the oldest one is a daughter, and I am a little angry because I'm having to take care of a 3- and 5-year-old.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the book is not just about her and those issues. The book is also about the son and his issues. You've got 2 issues going on here. You may have 2 books, okay? But
I actually have 3.
Okay. Those are the 3, and these are the 3 issues. But I think the book you've tied your health and your life to is the one about your son, okay? And I've got to tell you, you don't have to worry about putting it off. Write it when it feels right, okay? It's not going to kill you to have it done. And it's not going to kill you to have the book about your daughter done. Do your books, but do them on your time schedule. Do them when it feels right to you to do them. Is this helping? Okay?
Yeah, it is helping, and I even told a friend that maybe all this other stuff happening is because I need to put it up so that I come back with a fresh mind.
Yes, you do. And I'll tell you something else, and this, you've got to forgive me for this because I don't like to bring negativity into the program, but right in this moment I have to. I have just laid out, and I know you've dabbled in the cards a little bit, I've laid out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I've laid out 10 cards as we were talking. And out of the 10 cards, 9 of them are reversed. And that tells me that everyone and everything around you is depressed. And you're carrying the world on your shoulders, and you're the one who's trying to bring rays of light to all these people. And you know, you cannot light a candle in somebody else's heart unless they're willing to receive it. And right now, all the people in your life are so busy trying to grab from you that they're not allowing themselves to even receive what you have to give. So your feeling of, I don't want to do this right now, that's because this isn't something that is helping you or them in the moment. Okay? There is going to be an opening. It comes through your son. Okay? I think this is your younger son. And he seems to be like the only positive energy in your life. If it's not him, look for another younger man. And that's the person who's really pointing the way in this moment to the next step that's going to make you feel really good about what you're doing. And incidentally, when you start to move in the direction where life feels good again, you're going to stop having these health issues that keep coming up also, which are really linked to a lot of things that are ultimately going to hurt your heart. And it's because it's not just your depression. Everybody around you, with all of their dramas and all their dilemmas, they're pulling you down. Now, writing the books on these things is good because it gives you objectivity, it gives you insight, it gives you closure, but not in the moment. Right now, writing those books is pulling you closer to those dilemmas. It's time to take a step back for a moment. Is that making it clear?
It makes a lot of sense, and you're right, that is what everybody else is. I pick up I don't know how to shut it down. Around people, I pick it up, then I carry it, and I can't let it.
Well, let's not say can't. Let's just say don't know how to. Okay? I have, at this point, it's over 40 psychic protection tips on YouTube. And I would really love for you to work your way through them one at a time and start to employ those techniques in your life. And the very best thing is to recognize that just because someone else has a problem doesn't mean it's yours to solve. You got it?
And I know that, and I do say it, and it's not necessarily, I realize my time, it's just set a seat for them, and it's their time, they will fix it.
Exactly. And, you know, sometimes the people who are empaths, and obviously you are one, it's so hard because empathic people are natural born healers. And so every time somebody interacts with you, they come around feeling better, and you feel better because they feel better. Well, guess what? Unfortunately, empathic healers also tend to attract a lot of people who don't go away, because once they realize there's a fountain of energy there, they just keep coming back for more, and they're always negative. So you are going to have to condition people to approach you when they're positive. If somebody calls you on the phone and says, "Oh, I feel so horrible, I wanted to talk to you," don't call them back for 3 days. Okay? Don't. That is not a, that should be step back, let them deal with their own stuff right now. Okay? And I don't mean to be harsh, but I'm trying to get the point across that you've really allowed yourself to be the fountain that keeps on giving and giving and giving. And the reason why you run out of the energy to keep giving is that your guides who are helping you with that life force energy to flow through have recognized that there are too many people draining you, and they're not stupid. They want to give that love and that energy and that good stuff to the people who are also helping themselves. You see? So when you start to learn to say no, when you start to step back, when you start to set some boundaries in a healthy way, and it doesn't mean you can't love the people you love, it doesn't mean you can't help them, but when you listen to that internal voice and it says, no, I'm not going to return that call, listen. If you don't feel like you want to talk to that person, don't. Okay? It's really okay.
And that's funny you said, because my husband and I came to the conclusion with one of our children, we're going to wait an hour or two because it always works out, and we're tired of hearing it.
Yeah, your mic is breaking up a whole lot, And so I'm going to cut our session a little bit short here. Also, I've got a long list here. But do get back to me and let me know, how this works out. I see it's going to resolve itself one direction, and that's going to be the direction that young man points you in. And why? Because working with him and for him makes you feel good. And when you start doing that, your health is going to return as well. Okay?
Okay, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too. Thank you. And Lisa, who is next on our list?
All right, the next victim is Teresa. Teresa, you're unmuted.
Hi, Sandy. This is Teresa.
Hi, Teresa. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, again, I'd like to know where you're from, what your sun sign is, what you're most grateful for, and then your question.
Okay. I'm from Texas. My sun sign is Cancer, and I'm most grateful for my family and for you and Lisa. And my
Hey,
question is, where am I going as far as work goes in the future?
okay, and I want to show you how accurate that is. First of all, thank you. I'm appreciative for my Lisa too. So thank you, Lisa. That was great. And I want to show you how accurate this little chart I have up here is, folks. Teresa wants to know where her work is going. Well, here's Cancer on the cusp, we call that line a cusp, of the second house. That's where my cursor is. This is the second house in astrology. And the second house is about where you earn your money. It's about your natural talents and abilities. So it's perfect. You're asking this at just the right time. And here's the chart for it. I love it. And, you have got a real knack for handling money, for working in business, for working with finance. And I do think that I'm sorry to get personal here, but I think you've been kind of turned off by work that you've done in the past in either the business or the banking community because there were too many people who were being megalomaniacs. I think of them as little Napoleons. The thing is, you really have a knack for it. You'd make a great accountant. You're a good manager of people. You're a good manager of money and things. You have all these natural talents in that area. And my suggestion is that rather than back away from the old position with a sense of being soured on a work that you actually enjoy, my suggestion would be to go to work for a different employer who didn't have those interpersonal problems that your past employer had. You see, it's not about the work that has turned you off. The talents, the abilities, the skills are great. They're there to build on. What's really turned you off is people. Now, that said, I'm sure that you are also wanting to know about should you develop your skills as a psychic, maybe as a tarot reader or as a channel or a future-oriented psychic. And the answer to that is yes, you have skill and you have ability in those areas as well. But you have an interesting thing happening in your makeup. You also require a lot of recognition from people, and you require the average mainstream person to be able to look up to you with respect, you see. Now, what I'm saying here is that you have a lot of skill to become a psychic. You're very intuitive. You probably already have some skills right now that you could utilize, but you would feel very much like you'd have to keep that completely separate from whatever profession you had. Or if you did go into it as your profession, you would have to work for a reputable store that you did readings in. Or, you see what I'm saying? There's this feeling of I've got to have respect for what I'm doing. I can't just put out a shingle and say I'm doing it unless the whole world recognizes me and that it's viable, bona fide, and you see what I'm saying?
I understand, yes.
I'm kind of talking around in circles here, but I think you got it.
I do.
So in order for you to hang your shingle out and become a psychic, are you capable? Yes. But you have to get past yourself to do it.
Right. Exactly. Well, you answered my question very well. Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for calling and Thanks for asking that question. And folks, we have all the other Cancers on the line, all the other Capricorns, the Libras, the Aries. What I just said to her about the need for respect and reputation within the career, you all have that at this time in your life. And so if you do decide that you're going to move into a profession like the psychic profession, where it's not totally accepted, you're going to need to find a way to do it where it will meet with acceptance and it won't bring you a lot of satisfaction. Okay? So Lisa, who is next?
Alrighty, the next person is going to be Chaz. Chaz, you are unmuted.
Hello?
Hello, Chaz. Where are you from? Sun sign, what are you grateful for, and your question?
I'm from Brooklyn. My sun sign is a Virgo. I'm grateful for my angels and you guys, of course.
Oh, you're so sweet. And Chaz, here you are down here. Virgo is in the 4th house in this chart. It's intersected. So I'm going to assume that you also have some questions about career, but also home and family, and that right now you've got a little confusion going on. So what's your question?
Yeah, it definitely had to do with a woman that I actually had a vision from Archangel Metatron, and I believe the vision meant that she was for me. But at this point we just friends, but I personally don't feel like it's a good friendship, and I don't know like what to do to move forward with her, or like when or how.
I have a couple of things I want to say here. Before I even answer your question, Chaz, I want to just make a comment about something that's been irking me for a very, very long time about the Archangel Metatron, okay? Most people are not aware of who Metatron is in a biblical sense. And in the biblical sense, Metatron is a human, a man, who was raised up to be an angel and is the only angel, supposedly, that can see the face of God. Okay? That's the totality of Metatron. Well, I have met many, 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 many people who have either channeled Metatron, so they thought, or have had messages from Metatron, so they thought, that were either misleading or gave them inaccurate information. I'm not saying that Metatron doesn't exist possibly out there as somebody's guide that's giving accurate information, but there are 99.9% of the Metatrons who are out there and are fraudulent spirits and fraudulent information. Okay? So there's a little, as soon as you hear the name Metatron, my warning bells, my warning signals always go up. Okay? So remember, Metatron was human. He sees the face of God, but he was human. So
Right.
when this is the name Metatron, there's kind of like a little secret giveaway going on there. Okay? Okay,
Yeah.
so you really want to know if there's any possibility of this friendship with this young lady actually becoming a viable romantic relationship. And
Yeah.
I honestly, is she somebody you've met through either your work or hers? It doesn't feel like it's moving towards a romance. It just doesn't. But I want to know about the work connection. Is it your work or her work that the connection is through?
Well, I'm in the entertainment business. Like, I'm a musician, and she's in the fashion business. We met at a music event. Like,
Okay, so that's where the work connection was. And it feels like what really clicked was you were at that peak, she was at that peak, and you were like, wow, it clicked in that moment. But both of you have a lot of ambitions in your own area and are not wanting to give them up for the other person. So I'm suspecting that this is going to be a long-term friendship if you choose it to be. But honestly, it doesn't feel like, I'm going to be blunt, it doesn't feel, Chaz, like you're interested in friendship. Okay? You either want a romance or you want to move on. So I'm not going to say that there's no hope, but if I were you, I would keep looking, okay? And maybe let this one go on a back burner. I see you a little bit like the knight in shining armor. and you really kind of fell for this gal. And it's not that she isn't interested in you, but she's not interested in you right now. You see? She's like, well, I have other things on my plate right now. Get in line and wait. And Chaz, you're not the guy to hang around and wait. It's just not in your nature. Okay?
Right. That's
Does that
true.
make sense to you? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I hope I'm wrong, and I hope things pan out for you, but please don't hold out lots of hope just in case. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Elisa, who's next?
Alrighty, the next person I'm going to pick on is Carlen. Carlen, you are unmuted.
Hi, Sandy.
Hey, Carlene, how are you this evening?
Okay, how are you?
Great.
I'm currently from Florida, but I knew you back in New York, and I used to see you personally in Bayshore. So here I am
Oh,
on
wow.
I'm on the
Oh,
space coast of Florida, on the opposite side of the state from you, and I'm
yeah,
a
I'm getting good.
Virgo.
Yeah. So I'm going to tell you pretty much the same thing I said with Chaz is that, you've got tremendous opportunities going on for growth right now, both of you, because the North Node is moving through Virgo. It's a great time for growth and reaching out and meeting new people and moving forward with life, changing your home base and et cetera, et cetera. But, you've got a lot of confusion going on as well. Um, it's like if I follow my dreams, who do I have to let go of? Do you see? And, what I'm seeing here is a lot of healing going on for you. I think that this is a good move you've made to Florida Space Coast. Um, I also think that it's been very difficult because for you, the feeling I'm getting is that and I don't know if you made the move out of New York recently or if this is a long term, but there's been a shift in your life recently where you've had to make a lot of sacrifices and you've done a lot of letting go. And I think the biggest question you have is probably, is it done? Can I come up for air yet, Sandy?
Yeah,
and and honestly, Carlene, I think life is about to get a lot easier and a lot smoother. Isn't that nice to hear?
yeah, that
Okay.
is.
So what's your specific question?
My daughter is engaged to an older man, and I have mixed feelings about him, and I just wanted to see if you had a take on that, and then I would like her to buy the house that she rents from me. And I think that a good way to do that is for him to get a loan for her to buy it because she can't get a mortgage right now. But I don't know if that's a good idea either. So I don't really want to push that if it's not a good idea.
Well, we do not live in a perfect world, Carlene. I can see that your relationship with your daughter has been kind of a meandering one over the years. There's a lot of love there. There's also a very strong empathic psychic link between the two of you. She's very over emotional. You are on an emotional roller coaster with her. Part of you is
Right.
really happy to see her getting settled because it means that you can finally get off the merry-go-round. Another part of you is so afraid that if you let her go, that she's going to trash her life because she does have these emotional mood swings. Well, I feel like she's old enough for you to let go. And this has nothing else to do, what I'm saying, what my guides are saying, has nothing to do with, is she going to be successful, not successful in this relationship or with the house, but relative to yourself. It's time for you to be able to step back and recognize that she's old enough to make her own decisions and have her own life. And that's a real hard one for a mother to come to, especially when you have such a strong emotional connection to her. So you've got to do some work on yourself there to be able to give her that freedom to be a whole person and to be
Well,
responsible for herself.
that's why I would like her to
Okay?
buy the house so that I can step
Yeah.
back.
Well, listen though, what's kind of interesting, what I'm seeing here, and I'm almost a little hesitant to say this to you, okay? I think that he could buy the house or he could get the loan and she would be responsible for the house. But I also feel that, this older guy might actually be ready to have the relationship. He might really be ready to settle down. But your daughter doesn't know how to have a relationship. And she's really used to you paving the way and being there and making life comfortable for her, et cetera, et cetera. And the guy isn't going to put up with what you have. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your daughter is not going to have an easy time. And so your daughter is going to want to come back, hey, Mom, this isn't working out. Or she's going to not pay rent. And he's going to say, I can't put the bill for this by myself. You've got to help. When there's difficulties ahead of them. So what I'm trying to say is that you're letting her purchase the house allows you emotionally to take that first step in stepping back. It isn't going to solve the problem because she's then going to have the issue with the guy, and if you allow it, it's going to boomerang back at you, even though the house is in her name. Okay? So you've got to set some back here, my friend. Okay? I'm sorry. I wish I had really perfect good news. And that's why the reason I said I'm a little hesitant to even say what I'm getting here is because I hear in your voice, oh my God, if he's not going to completely and totally take care of her for the rest of her life and buy this house for her, I don't know if I can step back. Meanwhile, what I'm seeing is your guides arranging this so that you're going to feel that now's the time you can step back. They're giving you a break. Take it. Okay?
I'd like to.
But really, let yourself off the hook. Let yourself off the hook. It's time. She's old. This is good.
Right. I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Carlen. And I want to say thanks for calling in. And it's always a pleasure to hear that wonderful echo from the past. It's good to know that you're still with us, still doing well, and it's still feisty.
Yeah. Thanks, Sandy. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And Lisa, who's next on our list?
All right, the next person is Lucy. Lucy, you are unmuted. Lucy, you are unmuted.
Hi, my name is Lucy, and I'm from Southern California, and I'm a Taurus, and I'm very excited and honored to be chosen. I'm most grateful for my life and the direction that it's taking currently. I wake up and I'm just happy to breathe.
Lucy, who's gotten engaged or bought a house?
No one. I was told a long time ago that someone was going to give me a house and that was going to happen. That's funny.
Well, what I'm seeing, Lisa, would you mute yourself, please, or else you mute her?
Sure.
Yeah, there's feedback coming on over the line.
Is that better?
Okay, well, I'm not getting the feedback now, at least. Yeah, I couldn't hear myself talk because my own voice was coming back at me.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. And a lot of times Lisa can just remute, she can control that feedback. That's why I was talking to her. Okay. I see romance. I see an offer for a home. I see an offer for the happiness you want. I see a marriage that's either yours or around you that's coming up. There's a lot of good stuff, and it's right on the horizon. Now, who is the person in your life who has had a difficult time with their relationship, their family, and has recently, maybe the last year and a half, gotten a divorce? Now,
I don't have anybody exactly like that, but I do have somebody that is similar to that, yes.
okay. And I may not hit it exact, but that similar would be the one.
Well, the thing is, you're close enough. It hasn't been a recent divorce, but she has severed more emotional ties with him recently.
Okay. That's the person that's meeting someone new and getting married. That's the one.
Oh, wow! She'll be so excited. I can't wait to tell her.
Well, the thing is, it really, I know that this is supposed to be a question for you, and it turns out to be about her, but sometimes your guys work that way, where they filter things through. She worked very, very long and very, very hard to keep that relationship together, and everybody else would have said, why? You know?
Right,
And,
exactly.
and she's finally allowing herself to step back and be a whole person again. And the reward is that everything she wants is right around the corner. Tell her that. She's doing the right thing and stepping back. And you must
Oh,
be a very, very good, you know, relationship partner or a friend to her for you know, for this to turn up in your session like that. I feel like the two of you are really close. Like either she's a daughter or she's a close friend, but you know, you have her under your wing. And you kind of get these accolades through having been there for her for a very long time. Okay? So there's a lot of happiness there. And happiness is coming your way as well. In the realm of Taurus, okay, and I want to show you where you fall as a Taurus. It's up here. You're doing a lot of introspection lately, my friend. And you're looking also at your own work. You're looking at your own relationship, and not just the one-on-one at home. You're looking at the relationships, all those one-on-one relationships, and you're really kind of assessing because you've been the fort. You know, you've been the person to hold everything up in your life, and frankly, you're getting tired of doing it. Okay, and that introspection is important for you too. So you and your friend are mirroring each other. Okay. Except you're moving along a little behind her, and I don't know that your pulling back is in the realm of your personal relationship, but it's with a lot of other relationships where you're setting yourself free, and that allows you to move on and fill your life with people and situations that are much happier and healthier for you. Do you have a specific question?
Wow. Thank you.
You're very welcome. And Lisa, who's our next person?
I had to find my own microphone. I lost it. All right, we're going to go down to Shannon. Shannon, you are unmuted.
Hey, Shannon. Shannon, are you there? I think you're having a little trouble finding your microphone. Shannon? No answer, Lisa. We're going to have to let Shannon play with her mic and maybe come back on later. Can you give me the next person?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, there you are,
hi.
Shannon.
Hi. Sorry. I'm from London, Ontario, Canada, and I'm a Leo, and I'm grateful for my children.
Awesome. And can I ask, are they old enough to have children? Because I'm seeing a grandchild here.
No, they're 7.
Okay, then it's not the grandchild. It might be I'm seeing the 7-year-old because I'm seeing that kid that's around 7. Okay, that makes sense. One of them is extremely artistic and creative, and I think it's the one who's more verbal, never shuts up. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Kind of do what you can. I mean, this kid would be enough to drive anybody crazy because there's so much activity, almost hyperactive. But do what you can to make sure that this kid gets the freedom to develop, because there is just so much, I mean, if you can keep up, there's so much creative ability and so much tremendous imagination. Like this kid can imagine just about anything. So I'm hoping you're able to put this one into the right kind of schools and give them the start in life that really would be so great for them. Now, who's got the health problems in your world? Because there's a lot of health issues going on around you right now.
My partner, he's got some back issues. Some of my family members.
Yeah, and is it mostly things like that, back issues, muscle issues, things like that? That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a lot of real physical hardship, like it's hard to get up and get through the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, I feel like it's frustrating to you because, you know, like so many of the other people on this call, you're a fixer. You know, you're that person who really wants to help everyone. And
Yes.
you can't, this is the message for you, you can't carry the world on your back. And I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on your husband for a moment, but, you know, the reason for the back problem is that he was pushing himself in directions that he shouldn't have been. Okay? And
Yeah.
you probably told him, but he's competitive. Like he's got to do what everybody else is going to do, and then he hurts himself.
Yeah.
You know, you can't bridge that gap. He's going to have to learn his own limitations. And guess what? Your world seems like it's filled with those people. You know, you have a whole bunch of them who all, you know, push themselves until they get hurt, and then they say,
Mm-hmm.
please help.
Yeah.
And you know,
Yes.
you can't be all people, you know. So you know, get out the old ice packs and say you're on your own, honey. You know, because
Yeah.
until they take care of themselves and know that maybe they're getting older, but they've got to set some limits, otherwise they're going to keep getting hurt. Okay. What's your
Okay.
specific?
I just want to know, for me personally, the direction I'm going to go in. I'm a little confused, a little stuck.
I see a lot of communication skill around you, and it's interesting that I see that both in the cards, my guides are telling me, and they also, Leo falls right here on that third house, which is about communication and astrology. I feel like you have been, not trying to attack your family and friends, but you've really been held back because of trying to, you know, be all things to them. And then you don't give yourself the time to step back and say, well, this is what I want to do. You have the
Mm-hmm.
ability to be a teacher. You have the ability to write a book. You have the ability to be a counselor, a social worker, a psychologist. Your best skills lie in the realm of communication. I feel like you've been kind of pushed in the direction of the health field. I don't know if you're a nurse or if you are involved in some kind of service where you're helping, you know, wait on people or work with people who have illnesses. But you know that you can make money there, but that's not where your best skills are. Your best skills are in communication. Did
Yeah,
that
I'm a
help?
hairdresser, so
Well, there's your communication. Okay,
yeah.
guess what? You're the psychologist for the people whose hands your hands are on their head. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and you're helping them with all their problems. Um, and you know, it's creative, and you love creativity. So the creative part of your hairdressing you like, but the part that's the service part, the part that's I have to be on call, the part that's you're not that it's like it used to be good and it's not so good anymore. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you being on your feet all the time is not it's not being good for you either. You're not getting the time. You seem to be working very long hours as well. You're not getting the time for yourself that you need. And guess what? My God's saying you're not eating right.
Yes.
Sorry about that. They're saying, you know, you're taking care of everybody else, including everybody who sits in that chair. So you're not taking care of yourself. Um, would you be going back to school? Are you thinking about it? My guides are saying going back to school would be a great thing for you to do.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what direction to go in. Yeah, I've been
And when
doing
I
a lot of
asked,
inner work on myself.
yes, you have. And when I asked, should you stay in the realm of beauty? You know, if you went back to school, should you continue with, you know, esthetician or something of that nature? And they're saying, you know, yeah, you could, but that's not where you would be happiest. You're a people
Mm-hmm.
person. You really, really are a fabulous communicator. If you were, you know, I only wish I could say I see you going back to school to be a teacher because you're a natural born teacher. But I think that the amount of time and energy that would be involved in that, not to mention money, is probably more than you would want to put into it. But bear in mind that anything that you can do that'll maybe going and teaching hairdressing or being involved in giving talks with hairdressing or going back to school to expand what you do in the beauty field, but in a realm where you would be more involved with counseling. The whole concept of diet and food, massage therapy would work for you as well. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
tie it to your ability to communicate with your, you know, your knowledge of the service and the health fields, because you have a large knowledge of things in the health area as well. Nobody at home will listen to you, but the people who sit in your chair do. Okay, I think that was helpful. Okay, and you know, you're just it's the communication. That's the key to everything for you. You are also going to have the opportunity to co-own a business with someone. So it might be that where you're working, they would like to buy in. I've got to tell you that if it's lucrative enough, that would be a good thing for you. But otherwise, it would. And I'm saying lucrative where the business, if buying in puts money in your pocket, that would be good. If it doesn't, don't do it. Okay, because there's a possibility it could be just that she is going to be requiring a little extra money to go into her business to keep it going. And if that was the case and nothing came back to you, don't do it. So it would really depend on the deal whether it was a good enough thing for you to do or not. Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Good luck. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Good luck. Lisa, who is next? I think I've got time for 2 more people.
Okay, the next person is Andy. Andy, you are unmuted.
Yes, hi Sandy.
Hi, Andy. How are you tonight?
How are you? Thanks so much for taking my call tonight.
Good. And you're calling from?
I'm calling from Kansas, and I'm an Aries, and I am very grateful for all of the loved ones in my life, both two-legged and four-legged.
And can I ask, are you working from your home these days, or do you take a lot of work home with you? Because
I do indeed.
This chart here, I love to get the feedback from the chart so you can see how this horary chart works. But here you are as an Aries up here in the house of friends. You've got a lot of friends and issues with friends on your mind tonight. But this forms a T-square, which I'm pointing to here, that puts all the energy out into the second house, which says you're working out of your home right now. Okay?
I am.
And by the way, I think it's a good thing. It looks like it's your own business, or it feels like your own business. And you can get along with people really well. It allows you a lot of creativity and a lot of freedom. And are you presently thinking of taking on a colleague as a partner? Because I see that as an option that's coming up.
You know, that would be delightful. I'm actually in the midst of working on a PhD, and I'm in my last year, so I'm working part-time, but I do an incredible amount of my work mostly at home with everything. And I have thought about doing some consulting work here post-graduation, or hopefully even pre-graduation, and work with a partner would be wonderful.
I honestly think it's imminent. I think the option is going to come up soon. I don't know if you present it or if the other person presents it, but you seem to do your best work when you are working with another person or working with a team. So I see you self-employed, and that would be coming out of the PhD, I guess, because you really enjoy that independence, but you're going to do your best work if you either have a partner or if you're working within the context of someone else's business. Okay?
Oh, that would be, yes, lovely. That would be lovely. Kind of along those lines, I am in the process, I've already made the decision to move out of a long-term relationship, and my timing question is really of the essence now. I'm kind of in a stress situation here with some schooling deadlines, but I'm starting to have some health problems which are kind of telling me, my gut is telling me, you need to do something. So
yeah, what I was going to say is that I see tremendous ups and downs with friends, with relationships, conflicts, and sometimes the only way to alleviate that is to create more space for yourself. If you can possibly move out, move into your own place, or if you can move in with another person who's just a friend but has the space that is available for you to rent from them for a time, that would actually help you with your schooling as well as your work, because it would relieve all that excess pressure that's on you. A whole lot of that pressure is coming from the relationship.
that's what as I thought, yeah. It is my home, so I think they're going to have to move out. Is the way that's going to happen. Yeah.
You're going to have, you have to, will they move out? They're not going to want to move out. This is going to be, the timing of this is going to be crucial. You're going to have to pre-think up and I hate to do this, but you're going to have to pre-think all the different scenarios and how you're going to react to them. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that you have somebody that, is physically strong and assertive with you, who's a good friend at the time that you make that other person move out. Okay?
Right.
Because you've kind of put yourself at risk here. Okay? And I don't mean in so much in a physical sense, although that's possible too. The person you're living with is emotionally erratic and not to be trusted emotionally.
Right, right. Well noted. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay, one last call, Lisa, and this is going to be my last caller of the evening, folks.
And the lucky winner is Sherry. Sherry, you are unmuted.
And Sherry, hello. You're unmuted on our end, but I think you may not have found your mic on yours.
Yes.
There you go.
Hi, Sandy. This is Sherry. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm Libra.
Places in the Sherry, do you know my friend Carl Woodall up there?
Yes, I was just in his class today, matter of fact.
I thought so. When you go back, tell them hello. Sandy says hi.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Talk to you.
I'm a Libra, and I'm most grateful for family and friends and learning new things.
Yep. And you're probably wondering right about now, with all the psychic stuff you're learning in Carl's class, will you ever be able to do anything with it? The answer is yes. You are learning something which is going to be a skill that will allow you to supplement your income nicely and someday retire into it and to work out of your home or home-based business where you're doing your psychic work. So I don't see this as you're taking classes with you. I see you developing a new profession. Okay? Good luck.
Okay, I missed the last part. You said what? You see working out of the home or something?
Yep, I see you probably working out of your home.
Okay. Currently at my current work, my question is, am I moving job-wise in the next couple of months?
And yes, I do see that. I'm going to have to get off because I've lost my voice. I do see. Good luck to you. Bye, everyone.